What I want to do is I just want to celebrate the amount of fun that the community is having with Avowed and get everyone's hot take. But I do want to open up with this, gentleman. Now, of course, Aaron Greenberg, obviously, everyone knows who Greeny is. For many years, as we know it, Xbox Game Pass has been known as potentially a killer of game sales, right? It has been used in rhetoric, it's been used in articles, time and time again, where, Xbox players don't buy games, which, of course, is the false narrative. But one of the things that has really taken on, I guess, a form of its own is the Steam sales charts, right? Well, for Xbox Game Pass, gentlemen, and chat, there are two versions. You can get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on your console. No big, again, shocking it. Yeah, we can do that, but you can also get it on PC. And when it goes to PC, obviously there's this thought that, well, no one on PC is going to buy the game. Well, we got some information that is really interesting and just goes to show you that there is something special here. Avowed isn't just a major release for Xbox and PC in 2025. It is a phenomenon. There is just no doubt about it. It has done something on two parts of the scale, which is just, I think, brilliant. One, it has unified a community that was a bit fractured, and everyone is talking about how amazing this game is. The conversation isn't whether or not it's going to go to PlayStation 5. The conversation is how amazing, I found this weapon. As a matter of fact, I didn't know this, and I run an ice build. Some guy, I got to get his name. He's like, hey, if you didn't know, you could walk on water when you do the ice thing, because as you're walking, it turns to freaking. I'm like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? And these are the kind of
freeze water and use it to walk on places.
And just like, it's like it circles you, and as that spell is cast on you, it's like a shield. You can walk on water. It's freaking amazing. Like, I would have never thought to do that.
Are you telling me they let you turn to Jesus?
Maybe about Jesus, possibly. So where am I going with this, folks? Where I'm going with this is Aaron Greenberg tweeted out something that I think needs to be celebrated, because it does ultimately chop down any of the narratives about people buying games or buying Xbox first-party games. And, well, according to Aaron Greenberg, and I'm going to read his tweet verbatim, ladies and gentlemen, it says, thanks to everyone who made Avowed the #1 selling game in America again. We are also currently #1 selling game in the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Finland, and more. And this is, of course, on Steam. And the Steam rankings I have in front of me are the top 8. And obviously, it's the top 100, but we're not going to get into the top 100 games on Steam. We're just going to give you the 8 that are up there. Avowed is #1. The Steam Deck itself is #2. Monster Hunter Wilds at #3. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That's not a surprise. That's at #4. Counter-Strike 2, #5. Civilization 7. That just came out at 6. Marvel Rivals, again, not surprising, at #7. And at #8, Sea of Thieves, the 2024 edition, which is, again, selling on Steam, which is bonkers. Gentlemen, this is, for some people, this might be a bit of a surprise, but we've all played it. And most of the people in the chat here can't wait to talk about how they've been playing Avowed. Asante, this is not, for some, yes, a surprise. For me, not really. When there's a game this good, people are going to buy it.
Well, so the reason why this is not surprising to me at all is because this is like, if you've played this game, you know this is a PC game. That's what this game is, right?
Yeah.
It like these days, today, oh, youngin that is listening to the sound of my voice, unless you're a graybeard like me, you know that certain demographics and certain genres just did not play on other platforms back in the day, right? These kind of hard RPGs, these kind of real systems heavy RPGs were never finding their homes on console, right? The issue used to be that they couldn't find control schemes that were standardized, that were possible for it to do it. So games like Neverwinter Nights and the rest of them would never make their way to consoles. It would take a long time for them to find their home here. So obviously we live in a world of today where all those issues have since been resolved. So all of these waters are now becoming muddier and muddier, and I think that's awesome, right? But I say all that to say, because that has historically been the case, there's a strong lineage of these kind of games on PC. That's why Skyrim crushes on PC even to this very day. That's why even though they release an umpteenth version of it that says, "Ha ha, we know you have all the DLC, but we're releasing it again just because we know you want to buy it," edition, somebody will still buy it because they love these kinds of games, right? And then they rank other games by the last game, right? So I knew for sure that on PC this game would crush, right? This is right up the alley of what do you call it? The folks that made the last recent one, the one that you compared it to, Boom, the one with the bear that people kept
BG3.
Oh,
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate. Yeah, it's the same kind of D&D kind of energy, but it's different enough that it just harkens back to some freshness that you're not used to playing these kinds of games. And to your point, Boom, the reason why I think it's really like reaching audiences and captivating audiences is they have indeed found some very unique gameplay avenues that I don't think most people have seen before, which is that loadout switch out, like instantaneous loadout, which on the fly, like it really is. This is really game your way the game. You want to play in third person? Go for it. You can play the whole game third person.
Yep.
Right? It won't bother you one bit. You want to play in first person? Play the whole game. It doesn't even make you feel like you're missing anything when you're in first person. You can play this thing guns out the whole time. The whole game guns out. You can do that. You could play this as a wizard. You could be Harry Potter, the whole situation. And by the way, let's be really clear. When you play it as a wizard, the wizard gameplay avenues are exactly like the Harry Potter game that came out not too long ago. Right? Yep. The same flickering motion, the same well thought out mechanics. It's almost like they borrowed their homework a little bit on that. And I think it was great.
I feel like they might have, yeah. You could
right? And I think it's great. It's almost like they went, you know what? Like the Arkham games kind of defined combat. These guys have defined wizarding. Let's just use what they've defined. And I'm happy about that, right? It makes it snappy and great and beautiful. And you can switch between it, and at a moment's notice, now you're sword and board, or you're two swords, or you're a sword and a shield, or you're a grimoire wizarding book and a gun. Like there's just so many avenues for you to play it your way, and you get into a rhythm, and you start putting points into the parts of the game that you think you the parts of the weapons that you like the most, and it just gets better and better over time. I mean, like this game, I'm very, 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 very impressed with it. And I am not surprised at all, not the slightest bit, that it's crushing on Steam. Like, I am not the slightest bit.
And it's really good to see. Again, we're going to get into our personal experiences. And of course, we want to hear from the chat, like, what's been your, like, oh my God moment? Because I've had quite a few of those. Just, it's, again, when this game hits from inception. But Infinite Umbra, you're a PC guy, right? Obviously, you know, there are a lot of people in the chat here. We got almost over 350 people watching live. So, of course, thank you, everyone. There are a lot of, rig owners here, right? Whether they have 4090s and they're just waiting in the wings for the 50 series to come out. But this is a big deal because, quote unquote, as it's been told to us numerous times by numerous publications as well as community members, Xbox players don't usually buy games, right? Why? Because we get them for quote unquote free. But there is an avenue on PC to get these quote unquote games for free. And Steam has once again proven that PC players do in fact buy games, because right now, Avowed, one of the biggest games of the year so far, and again, it is still only February. We still have, another 10 months left of the year. But make no mistake, this is a phenomenon, and it is selling like hotcakes. Let's talk about it, man.
It's doing really well. The part that gets me and annoys me is that we got so many bad faith actors in this.
Yes.
That I wonder just how influential they've grown, unfortunately, because I see a lot of people, I'm not playing this because of that one person that said this thing or whatever, right? And you see a lot of people doing it. So you have, I don't want to throw out names, I guess, to keep it respectful, but you have a lot of them who I think are ruining gaming discourse. I've said this many times before. And I think that as good as this game is doing on Steam and in general, I think it would be doing that much better without trash like that present.
Great point. Yeah.
That said, everybody who's playing this game disagrees with a 7 and 6 rating that people have been giving it. Some of those people who gave it 6s and 7s, the audience is much like looking at the Captain America Brave New World reviews, right?
That's a freaking great one-to-one. Please elaborate on that, because the trades are panning it. But Marvel fans, first of all, I am so proud that Anthony Mackie is my Captain America.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go see that. I'm going to support it. I'm going to go see that in the movies 3 times just so he comes back as Captain America.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. See, Boom is a real ally, y'all. Y'all got to get like Boom. But I'm with you on that. And the thing is, it's like the whole argument stems off stupidity anyway, because just off the Mackie situation, because Falcon clearly was Captain America in the comics.
Yeah, and he still is.
I don't know why people feel like, yeah, he still is. Exactly. I don't know. It's a silly argument on its face, right? But that aside, you look at the critical reaction to it, and I think they miss the boat, so to speak, right? And you see that all across the board at times. You see that happen with games like Rise. Who of us don't believe that they deserved a 60? You see it with Mad Max. It's a 69 meta. No way in the world does that game deserve just a 69. You know what I mean? And then you look at something like this with Captain America, Brave New World, and it's sitting at like what, the 50s, 55, I think.
Yeah,
and the audience scores at 80.
Yes, high 80s.
A vast difference in what they think we want versus what we actually do want. And this game right here is a prime example of that. It's not the Skyrims I think that the critics may have wanted, and so it's not that they kind of it's not doing this great, and some people I've always had this argument that I see people bring up and the critics bring up. It's not reinventing the wheel. Why does it need to?
Exactly.
All I need is a great, competent game. That's it. And this game is that. I don't need it to be Skyrim Part 2.
I just hate to bring up the fact that the reason why it is not reinventing the wheel, the reason why it is not doing the Skyrim thing is because that is a limitation of Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, hey,
I'm just saying. I'll go back on mute now. Excuse me.
Listen, yeah, hey, that aside, you have to get in there.
Just saying.
I see what.
Whenever you guys get together, you know that you're going to get some sort of UE5 slander. It's just par for the course.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get Elon and Doge to for me. But yeah, like the thing is like it's crazy though, because this is one of those examples where I think the critics got it wrong, and not all of them, of course, because some are like where we're at right at the moment. Right now, I'm a day and 15 hours in, just I think a few hours above you, right, Kay? And so
yeah, you're about 15 hours ahead of me. Yep.
So we've got some time in now, and I got a good sense of what this game is. Boom. When I tell you I saw every single nook and cranny and corner of that first area,
I believe you.
Just got to the second area.
Good for you.
I only just got to that, the what you call it, the stair, Emerald Stair. Just got to it earlier. So like that's how far entrenched I was into making sure I saw everything. And that fog of war, damn you, Obsidian.
And they're serious about their fog of war because you literally have to go right to that piece of fog to get it to go away. Because I'm like you, I'm trying to unfog everything.
It's insane.
It is a OCD nightmare.
It's an OCD nightmare for a fact. I'm sitting there like, man, if you don't get this cloud out of my way, like you need some type of Assassin's Creed system in here or something. Well, I need to look around and highlight something from a higher vantage point. No, that right there is tearing me apart. They're going to have to address that at some point because I don't like my map not showing everything. But that aside, I just noticed how engrossing that is too. And you said it way back, Boom. Well, not way back, but you said it some episodes back. You said you feel you get Skyrim Oblivion vibes from it. And that is a Skyrim and Oblivion staple. Going around having to travel and literally journey to those parts of the map. That Oblivion and Skyrim did the same thing. So it definitely has the DNA of a Skyrim and an Oblivion, right? And then you have the charm of what Obsidian brings to the table with the character interactions, their characters in general, from Kai to Marius to I forget how do you say her name. How do you say that? I forgot how do you say it.
Yeah, it's there's a way to say it where it sounds. Yeah,
the feisty one. But yeah, she, seeing how they all interact and everything like that, I think is a big draw to it as well. It just has a lot of character and charm to this world, and the game is just flat out gorgeous. How many times do I have to say this? And it really brings you in, and like you all spoke on, the combat is really
is how you say her name.
Yatzel. How do you say it? Yatzel.
Yeah,
that's it. So like the game is just really it really draws you in, and I'm just really taken away by it, honestly. And I feel like, again, this is something that the critics kind of, and those who got the 6s and stuff like that, and even those with a 7, I don't think this game is worth a 7. I look at this and just the time I have in it right now, I'm sitting at an 8.5 out of 10 right now. And before,
you literally just got to the second.
Just got to the second area.
Yeah.
And so, KU, if you remember, I said that the game, I thought that the critic review score total would be an 85 meta. Yep. So that's where I'm sitting at right now, currently, and I'm sure there's going to grow once I get further in. So like I'm already at an 8.5 or 85 out of 100, whatever you want to call it. So I'm loving the game. I have to say they did a great job. I don't know why I doubted them a little bit. I think I had other people kind of influence that because I was on the Infinite podcast with Risking and the guys before, and I was the only one bigging it up. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, it looks great." Blah blah blah. And the more time that went past, the more it got to look even better over time.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm so grateful that they got the time to actually work on this. And this, to me, we were talking about this, in the GCP chat, and one of the things that myself and Lucius talked about, Boom, just to shout him out, we were talking about what the sequel could look like.
Yeah, see, dude, I got some thoughts.
I got some thoughts. And that's the thing. That's the beauty of a game like this. I don't really get that feeling for a lot of games. I don't get that, man, I wonder what they could do for this. This actually gives a sense of wonderment for me where I feel like they have nowhere to go but up, or as far as what they can implement going forward. People complained about, oh, you can steal things and people won't say anything. Well, they can implement that now, right? They can implement that in
again, that's a great point. That you know what, and I want us to go further in depth with that because I have some points of contention I'd like to bring to the table, but I just to come back around, are you surprised it's selling well on Steam? Because you know what vibes I'm getting from this, and I know it's not an exact one-to-one. Folks, if you remember Guardians of the Galaxy 3, when it came out, its first week, it underperformed, right? It underperformed. And what happened week 2, 3, and 4, word of mouth exploded James Gunn's last film, and it blew up all the numbers. And I kind of feel that is gonna, this game is gonna have a long tail. Because the more that we keep talking about it, the more people are going to flock to it. And I think that just based on, and I know it's sitting at an 80 Metacritic, and I don't agree with that at freaking all. And I read some of the 6s, I read some of the 7s, and I'm like, first of all, how many hours did said person put into this game? Did they put 15, 20, 30? I just crossed the 90-hour mark in this game, and I am nowhere near beating it.
Oh, man.
I am trying to do everything. I am looking for every side mission. I actually just completed the achievement for finding all 28 pieces, including the 4 totems. I found the 4 totems, and I found each totem. And if you're not sure what the totems are, when you go to your camp, there's a stand where you put these totems. What are the totems used for? Yeah. They give your party boosts, buffs, and you can pick which one of the 4 equal your play style. And to get the maximum buff on your entire party that goes out, you need to find all the pieces. So first you got to find the totem, which is piece number 1, and there are 6 other pieces scattered in that area, and you can find, like a clue, like, they show you like a picture of like a mountain. You have to try and go and find it. I found everything.
It's a pro tip for that, by the way.
What's that?
It's a pro tip for the totem. They by default, they have it turned off of your.
I know, yes.
Don't ask me why they did that, but they have it turned off of your GPS or your compass, whatever you want to call it. Should I say compass? And so you have to go into options and turn that on so you can see it. I just lucked into finding mine.
I used a guide for 5 out of the 28 pieces. I found everything else myself. So again, are you surprised by the sales?
I'm not so much surprised as I am happy. I want to address something really quick. Return True. He said again, 80. He kept saying 80. 80 is consistent. Well, like, where's the discrepancy? Relax, brother. I'm saying I was speaking on 2 different things when I said the 80. Just so happens this game got an 80. I think it should be higher, but whatever. 80 is fine. It's a great game. I was talking about the Captain America score when I mentioned the 80. I was saying the fan review or the fan reception is 80%. Versus the critic,
whatever. Yeah, which of course
that's what I was saying. And I was saying that some reviewers of this gave it 6s and 7s, which I don't think it deserved. I think it deserved higher than 6s and 7s. There was no inconsistency in what I was saying. But getting back, not so much surprised as I am happy. Again, I think that it could be selling even better, in my opinion, had it not been for bad faith actors. And I think they may have spoiled some of the sales. I think the same thing happened with Veilguard, unfortunately. And Veilguard deserved more because it was actually a good game. Yeah. And it's so sad that people got distracted by, oh, Tosh is they, them. Like, get over that. It's only like not even 5 minutes of your time that you can skip the dialogue of. And so things like that, I think, have helped ruin the potential of where gaming can go. And I'm not even defending them for how they use Tosh. It was a stupid implementation of that. But I'm just saying, like, people get hung up on the wrong thing and have allowed these grifters to come along and really ruin their enjoyment of things or things they would have enjoyed. And this is, I think, is suffering a little because of that. I think the sales should be even better, honestly, right now. But I'm going to guess. I'm going to at least assume that some of these people are like probably like, I don't know. That lady said this one thing this one time. Like, I'm going to guess that's part of it, right? Because somebody else said it and I got to be mad now.
Well, this reminds me of the whole Hogwarts situation. You had the author of the books say some things that a lot of people didn't disagree with, and somehow the development team was punished. They had nothing to do with her. They didn't even interact with her. She's simply just the owner of the IP. They made an amazing game, and there were people protesting, I'm not reviewing this game because. Come on. I mean,
yeah, silly.
It's ridiculous. But listen, we're going to move on to experiences and our personal experiences. Now, I'm not going to go first because I've been talking about this game for days, and I'm going to continue to talk about this because at every turn, there's something more amazing. And
this is how you know you're loving it, by the way, because you've had this on your radar for all these shows, and for good reason, in my opinion.
It's the game that just keeps giving and giving. I'll put it to this way. So it's Wednesday, And obviously I put a lot of work in. I say work a lot. I played a lot during the weekend in the overnights. Some people were like, "Hey, Boom, I saw you up at 3:38," and I'm like, "Yep, that was me. I was playing Avowed because that's all." But the other day, there was a particular mission for one of the people in my party, and I got to a certain part of it, and I felt I said, "You know what? I'm going to stop. I'm getting tired." I went to sleep, and I dreamt, "Oh man, what do I do now?" And I saw the choices in my dreams, and I
Wait a minute. You're dreaming about this game right now in real life?
In real life.
Oh man, you're the godlike. They're contacting you in your dreams.
So what happened? I got up and I look at the clock and it's 3 after 2, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to fall back asleep. I played to 4:17 in the morning and had to get up at 6, and I'm like, man. It was epic, man. Just good stuff.